What's going on, everybody? Chase with iDub Hockey here today with Dan, who's the product development manager for Sherwood Hockey. We're here in Calgary with your exciting Code Encrypt line in front of us. I say this every year, I'm always excited to get into the tech and spec, even more so this year with just the amount of momentum Sherwood has as a brand right now. So before we do that, I'll cool the jets. How would you describe the Encrypt line and what style of player it's really built for?
Well, style of player remains the same. What you've learned from Code over the years as we've evolved the model is suited for that playmaker and that player who's able to play all over the ice. A great distributor of the puck, as you know from our players that are using the Code family in the National Hockey League. You know, we've got some guys that shoot the puck pretty well also. So, but I would suggest that that's that true playmaker and a guy who likes to move the puck around.
Well, so it sounds like you've built this stick, really refined it from last year or 2 years ago with just the amount of success you had. So, you know, in case you missed that Encrypt Pro line, what were a couple of those technologies that you first introduced that you're really fine-tuning this year?
So probably first and foremost that EVT taper, that energized velocity taper, which allows for greater transition when the player loads the stick. We found that that really helped, whether that's distributing the puck, making you know, an amazing centering pass or a breakout pass, but at the same time when shooting it and loading it at speed, really helps that stick snap and create some velocity. So, you know, we've been very happy with how that's worked. Our shaft, the traditional convex walls and the rounded corners give that player really good feel. So that shaft shape has been a true benefit for us. And then trying to find what the true proper balance between playmaking, balance, feel. Balance point is key, and we want to make sure you had the right balance between how the blade feel and the stick performance works. So it's always a science, it's always testing back and forth, but getting that best combination between performance and durability, weight and feel. You're always jumping back and forth there.
So it's really that EVT taper with the hybrid kick point that has really just been the driver behind this entire line. This year, though, it sounds like it's the carbon fiber layup that you're really looking to use to find that balance. So how would you maybe describe the differences this year to someone who is madly in love with that Encrypt Pro? They're gonna hop into the Encrypt. What are you gonna feel differently out there?
Well, the first thing I'll tell them they won't feel differently is their feel in hand. So the shaft will actually feel exactly the same. So if you're comfortable with that feel and you enjoy stick handling or passing or shooting with the feel of what the Encrypt Pro was, you will have that from Encrypt Pro. So rest assured that we haven't changed anything there. But what we needed to do is we wanted to look at the benefits we were getting from the balance point we had with Encrypt Pro and how could we actually enhance the performance of that stick. So we actually adjusted the balance point slightly, and that was done by simply changing the overall layup, by changing the distribution of the layers throughout. It didn't necessarily give us a huge weight savings, if you will, because we wanted to work between that durability and weight story, performance and weight, back and forth. You could go, in my view, you can go too light and lose some performance and feel. We thought we had a great combination there. So simply by tweaking our balance point slightly, it would give you a little bit better perception of a slightly lighter blade, if you will, but at the same time, you're still getting all that performance and feel that you want. The other thing is, our blade profiles did change slightly, taking some material from the neck and in through the top of the blade and moving it to places that would be better served from a performance and feel standpoint.
Well, let's stick with the blade too, because that is such a key important part for the player and how we describe his feel or puck feel out there. This has the VR92 blade core with that very unique I92 kind of dampening layer in there. So again, if I've been sleeping under a rock, how would you describe that performance benefit for the player?
Well, look, you're looking at very thin blade. Obviously that puck moving at speed on a carbon fiber blade with those multi-laminates, you can get some shock. If you've got a blade that is too stiff or a blade that doesn't have any level of absorption to it, you tend to lose control or have the puck pop off that blade. By adding the I92 laminate, and it's in various positions depending on the model, we create a little bit of a softer feel without taking away from the stiffness or the performance. So you've still got that same pop that you wanted from your blade and getting that reaction, but at the same time, a little bit damper feel and taking away some of the vibration up through the shaft.
And let's finish off this Code Encrypt Pro here with just the overall materials, because that is something that has really improved in Sherwood sticks the past, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, just the amount of materials and the level of materials you're using. So before we move into the one, walk me through what's really going on and what's driving that performance.
So Blackline 25 is our carbon fiber, that large checkerboard block that you see on the blade, and if you look closely throughout the shaft. We're very happy with our partnership with Mitsubishi using Pyrofill carbon fiber. We know that we're getting elite level product, the best in the market, to be used not only in the hockey space, but used in aeronautics, used in home consumer electronics. It's a partnership that we're very happy to be working with the best in the business. So that really gives us confidence in the materials that we're using are actually at the top of the game. So that Pyrofill relationship and our Blackline 25 really is the flagship of our stick.
Now, we just covered everything about the Encrypt Pro. Let's talk about the One a little bit too, because this is still going to be such a sought after price point, especially as hockey continues to get more expensive. I mean, this is a pro level stick at a little bit more of an affordable price. So what are a couple things that we find carry down from that Pro?
Well, you definitely touched on it. When we designed the Encrypt One, and we've always done this with our second price point sticks, is we've looked at what's being used at elite level hockey, whether that's the National Hockey League, elite level junior hockey, or for that matter, minor pro. We're finding similar features and benefits to what's being used at the top end, but in a little bit more robust construction. And that's exactly what we've done in our second price point stick, the Encrypt One. We've done it throughout the Legend family. We did it in TMP, and we continue to do that with our second price point stick. You're getting all the exact same features and benefits. I-92, the Blackline 25, similar balance point, same shaft, just in a little bit more robust, a little bit more muscular construction. So a little bit heavier, but at the same time, the same balance point, our Featherlight XT, which is our best balance point offered, and that's both in the Pro and in the One. And you're getting a stick that truly is what we consider a pro spec stick. And you're able to do it actually at a slightly more affordable price. So you go super light in the Pro, or you go a little bit more robust construction with Pro characteristics in the One.
We have, roughly speaking, about 385 grams, give or take, in the Pro. This one's a little bit more, the One's a little bit closer to about that 400 mark, correct?
Correct, that's the range. I mean, I'm always reluctant to talk about weights, only because every flex, every pattern will change as you change patterns. Obviously, they add more weight, less weight. Flexes obviously have a lot to do with it, and overall stick length has a lot to do with it. Right. So not everybody across all brands cut their sticks the same height. So that's something that the consumer should always be wary of. And ultimately, look, the balance point really dictates that feel. The perceived feel is what you need to be comfortable with. So, and then you still have that variance between durability and weight, feel and weight. There's that balance that you have to, play that game or do that dance, if you will, finding the stick that's best suited for you. But we're very happy with where our balance points match out and gives a great perceived feel of the blade weight, and in turn that just adds to the performance.
So one last thing to touch on when we're talking about your pro level sticks. To have a pro level stick, you've got to have a name bar on there, and it's just so cool to see that on all five price points this year. And I want to move now into that performance and recreational category here. We don't have to go as much into detail, but we are going to find a lot of those technologies too. So can you maybe give us a top level overview on the 2, the 3, and the 4?
So the nice part about it is that all of the technologies continue to cascade down, and as you get lower, obviously you'll drop something off and you'll gain a little bit of weight as you move down. But we're very happy with the Encrypt 2, where we're still using our Blackline 25 carbon fiber throughout the blade. So that gives us a real benefit of having great performance blade. And then we go with a more unidirectional carbon fiber in through the shaft, still operating at a really reasonable weight and balance. So you move to Featherlight X, so slightly heavier through the blade than you would find both with the One and with the Pro. And then when you move to the 3, you're going to our Blackline 6 weave and the carbon fiber weave in the blade. Again, still giving you some performance, very visible on the blade, seeing that carbon fiber weave again, and a stick that still operates at that recreational to a great beer league stick. And then when you move into the 4, we've got that true price fighter, if you will, Featherlight balance point, so again a little bit heavier, but a great entry-level pond hockey, ball hockey stick that really gives somebody a Sherwood performance product for that entry-level player.
Perfect, Dan. And I really like how just the overall colorways, which is much more exciting this year with that great pop of green. We see that in all 5 as well.
It's important to create a family. And when you put all of our sticks on the wall, yes, sometimes in some retailers it's merchandised by price point. Others could be merchandised by brand. And we wanted basically to be able to tell if you've got an NHL player and he's using Encrypt Pro graphics, well, we wanted to be able to still tell that story throughout the rest of the line. So it looks like a cohesive unit all the way across, and all the features and benefits from the graphics actually are called out throughout the line.
Fantastic, Dan. Well, as always, want to say thank you and the whole Sherwood team for having us out and walking us through this exciting Encrypt Pro line.
Welcome to Calgary. Happy to have you here.
And for you guys at home that want to check out the full line of Sherwood hockey sticks, make sure you head over to icewarehouse.com.